G'day guys and gal, what is better than being clothed? Being armored. And what is better than being armored? That's right, being naked. But I guess power armor is pretty neat as well. Now, for you non-virgins out there that might be able to tell the difference between Primaris armor and Firstborn armor, but you know that's about it, there are over a dozen different power armor types that the Space Marines use, and the majority of them are still in use in some capacity, either due to Space Marine chapters being poor as shit, rarely coming in contact with the Imperium, or just being so universally hated that the Mechanicus refuses to restock them. There are also some power armors that have become timeless and have been in use since before the Imperium even existed. And for the sake of gender balance, because as we know, Warhammer is a very gendered balanced hobby, we will also look at the power armor that the chicks wear. And no, I'm not talking about those weird mecha things they insist on using all the time. Before we get started, guys and gal, there is only 24 hours left to pick up your very own Majorkill 200k hoodies before they're gone forever. Remember how your grandparents would be like, take care of that because in 40 years it's going to be worth a lot of money? Well, I think that situation applies here. Not only we get a nice, warm, and well-designed hoodie, but in 40 years from now, it'll be worth more than Bitcoin. Maybe. Hoodie comes in both black and burgundy, with the Majorkill signature on the breast pocket, our classic tagline down on the sleeve, and an original Custodes-inspired artwork on the back. By far the best merch I've ever put together to date. The Majorkill singlets are also available. Get in before they're gone. Today we'll go over each of the power armor designs and marks used by the Imperium. Although most of these are used by the Astartes, there are a few that are designed for non-spacey boy use. Let's get into it. Starting off, we have the Mark I Thunder Armor, because chronological order is a vibe. This was the first power armor that saw battle at the dawn of the Imperium, and it was quite primitive, you know, by sci-fi standards. The Emperor did not yet have Mars sucking his dick, so he more or less just salvaged power armor from techno-barbarians, then modified it to fit his Thunder Warriors, hence the name Thunder Armor. It was suitable for only terrestrial warfare, as it did not enclose the face, and only the top half of the body was powered, so you definitely couldn't run in it. However, when your enemy mostly consists of irradiated peasants, the Thunder Armor was more than enough to get the job done. Early generation Space Marines also used the Thunder Armor. Once Earth, or Terra as it's called, was conquered, the Big E knew he needed the technological might of Mars to allow his crusade to truly begin. To do this, he performed a magic trick and convinced the Martians that he was their messiah. I'm not even joking, that's exactly how it happened. With Mars's technological prowess, a new and way more advanced power armor was created. This was the Mark II Crusade power armor. This armor was designed with galactic warfare in mind, so not only did it protect the users from the vacuum of space, but it also had inbuilt life support systems, which allowed the Astartes within to fight on any planet. Oh yeah, and the legs were powered, which was nice. This power armor was also the first to use ceramite, which is a heat and shock resistant material, which is still jerked off to today. As a final touch, the Crusade armor could be plugged into an Astartes neural network, giving them increased awareness and reaction time. Think of the Thunder armor like a Nokia brick, and the Crusade armor like the first iPhone. There was such a technological leap, and since then, each new iPhone has been more like a small upgrade / money grab rather than a big innovative leap forward. To show my point, the Mark III power armor, called the Iron Armor, was basically just a tankier version of the Mark II armor and was never meant to replace it. This armor was best when cover was shit or you were fighting in close quarters. Beyond that, it looked and felt the same. The next noticeable leap forward was the Mark IV Maximus power armor. When the Primaris Marines first dropped, a lot of people were bitching about how the new helmet design looked too different and it looked less grimdark than the classic design. But bitch, that helmet design has been around for ages. The Mark IV armor used that design. The Maximus power armor was created by Mars when they discovered an STC which let them optimize and streamline power armor overall. They were able to make the armor lighter and more flexible, whilst maintaining its durability. The Mark IV armor was also way cheaper and easier to create and repair. Some Space Marine legions even begun to modify their Maximus power armor to make them more stylish. Yeah, look, I don't see a practical need for the Thousand Suns to make their armor look like that, but it does look dope, so I'll allow it. Style over everything. The Mark IV power armor was made to be the creme de la creme of power armor, and many believe that there would be no armor beyond it. Well, many people also believe that sniffing glue is good for you, hence when Horus went full bold dickhead mode and declared jihad on the Emperor, a new mark of armor was made, the Mark V Heresy Power Armor. For the first time ever, power armor had regressed in quality. See, not every Marine had been equipped with the Mark IV armor when the heresy broke out. As Horus was War Master and had some time to plan before announcing he was an evil son of a bitch, he quietly redirected Mark IV power armor shipments to the traitor legions rather than the loyalist ones. Hence, when shit went sideways, the traitors had all the new guns and armor, whilst the loyalists had mostly Mark II armor, which was super hard to repair and maintain. As such, the loyalists and some traitors invented the Mark V Heresy Armor, which was cheap, makeshift, and easy to maintain. You could slap whatever shit you wanted onto it mid-battle. It was shit, but it got the job done. These designs are noted by being very studded, as those studs were basically used to keep the layers of armor bolted together. Unlike the Mark II and Mark IV power armor, which are considered highly valued antiques by modern-day Space Marines, the Mark V Heresy Armor is considered trash, and a reminder of a darker time, hence most of it was recycled into other better stuff. The Mark V and Mark IV power armor is the most commonly used by the traitor legions, as they haven't had reliable access to any newer power armors beyond the Horus Heresy. Towards the end of the Great Crusade, Mars was experimenting with a more tactical and lightweight power armor that was designed to be a specialization of Mark IV. The Salamanders and the Iron Warriors fucking hated this prototype armor for being too lightweight and not bulky enough. The Raven Guard were like, yo, let us give it a crack. As the Raven Guard are more inclined to being a bit lighter and agile, the armor complemented them greatly, and their field test against the Elder was a massive success. Ha! Eat a dick, Perturabo. Not you though, Vulcan, we love you. As such, the Mechanicus began mass-producing the Mark VI power armor, named the Corvus power armor in honor of the Raven Guard who tested it. And you know, because it's got a beak. However, this armor wasn't released until deep into the Horus Heresy, where the Raven Guard primarily used it. However, it has since found its place amongst all the Loyalist legions and was a solid improvement over the super shitty Heresy armor. At the end of the Horus Heresy, when the traitors were about to launch the Siege of Terra, a final power armor was created, the Mark VII Aquila power armor. Towards the start of the Great Crusade, the Emperor decreed that due to their nobility and sacrifice, the Emperor's children would be the only legion allowed to bear the Imperial Aquila. Well, yeah, that went fucking poorly, as the Emperor's children were the worst people to have using your logo and name by the time Slaanesh claimed them. Hence the Emperor was like, fuck it, anyone who isn't aligned with hell can wear the Aquila. Hence the name of this power armor. This is the armor that has been used by all the Loyalist Space Marines for the next 10,000 years after the Horus Heresy. This armor type is very solid and superior to most of the others. The traitors were shocked to discover that the Loyalists had all been equipped with this fresh, powerful design, when they had been expecting them to still be using the super shit Heresy power armor. Its most iconic feature is definitely the Vox Grill mouth, as well as the winged skull and the chest plate. It also has some cheeky backwards compatibility, meaning you could use the Corvus beaked helmet on the Aquila power armor. Yeah, really cool of the developers to enable backwards compatibility like that. For some context as to how technologically stagnant the Imperium got after the Horus Heresy, in the couple hundred years before and during the Heresy, 7 distinct marks of power armor were created. In the 10,000 years since the Horus Heresy, only one mark of power armor was created, the Mark VIII Errant power armor, which is basically just Mark VII with a neck plate. Like bruh, it wasn't even a good upgrade, as the neck plate was restrictive and the mark was soon abandoned in favor of the Mark VII power armor. Well, it was technologically stagnant, other than a brilliant, gigantic mechanical hentai monster called Belsarius Cawl. The stagnation was a result of Mars believing innovation and invention to be heresy. Fortunately, Cawl thought that was retarded, hence over thousands of years he created Primaris Marines, and to equip them, he created the Mark X power armor, which is straight up the best Space Marine power armor. I'm not trying to start a fight here. The Mark X was created using the best bits of all the other power armors, and then further improved with some cheeky tech heresy. The Mark X is very modular, and it refers to a range of different armors. There is the Tacticus variant, which is for the more rank and file Primaris, whilst Gravis armor is a bit heavier and meatier. Then there is Phobos variant, which is more of a lightweight tactical version. As we've established, the Mark X helmet is inspired by the Mark IV Maximum helmet, which makes a lot of sense as the Mark X takes the best from previous designs. So that is all the Astartes power armor marks, but it is not all the power armor. A classic fan favorite, which holy fuck needs a new model update, is the Terminator armor. Here's a fun fact. Terminator armor was originally used by humanity during the Dark Age of technology for mining and farming on hostile worlds. You know, just to give context on how far we've fallen. The Imperium uses Terminator armor as its biggest and baddest non-dreadnought solution, and it shows. Terminators are walking tanks. However, some, like Logan, have turned their Terminator armor into running tanks, which is fucking terrifying. Having Terminator armor is a huge flex due to how rare and hard they are to make. A unique power armor type is the Aegis armor, worn exclusively by the Grey Knights, cause you know, they think they're better than everyone. The defining trait of the Aegis armor is that it's super blessed. It's covered in holy water, runes, purity seals, and the anal blood of choir boys. Basically anything it takes to ward off demons. It also has a wrist-mounted bolter, cause why not? The best of the best Space Marines, such as Chapter Masters, will be given elite power armor called Artificer Armor. Artificer Armor is basically just power armor that has been heavily upgraded and modified until it's an overpowered relic. This basically allows unique Space Marines to have unique armor without breaking the law. Very tactical, GW, I like it. Chicks can have power armor too. The Sisters of Battle all use Adeptus Sororitas power armor in battle, you know, unless they're doing one of those weird sexualized repellent thingos they do. There is only one variation of Bolter Bitch battle armor, and it's a lightweight but still effective version of the Astartes one. It doesn't contain the life support systems that its counterpart does, and it's overall less protective, but considering its users are unaugmented, it's still very handy to have. The cooler Sisters of Battle, aka the Sisters of Silence, use hectic as fuck Vitrain armor. This armor contains void mail, not sure what that is but it sounds awesome, and can withstand heavy punishment. However, it's mostly designed for agility over durability. Now we have the best armor, the Golden Armor, the Custodes armor. Whilst the Sisters of Battle and Space Marine power armor is made of ceramite, Custodes armor is made of auroramite, which is better in every way. For context, the Emperor uses auroramite armor, and so did most of the Primarchs. Each Custodian spends their life modifying their armor to suit their own needs, hence why it seems like every Custodes artwork has them wearing slightly different armor. And finally, we have the power armor for people who aren't religious female nutjobs or roided up super soldiers, the Ignatius power armor. This power armor is for Inquisitors who think they're gonna get shot at. It's not as good as the Astartes power armor, but it's pretty bloody good. Unless you run out of power. If you run out of power as an unaugmented human wearing this, you are going to have a fucking shit one. Your body will be locked in place, and you're pretty much guaranteed to break some bones and pull some ligaments trying to get this armor off you before you die of dehydration. Always check your battery levels, people. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then Patreon is the place to be, where only $1 per month give you access to a boatload of Warhammer hentai. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the real subscribe button for more powered content. Join the Discord for more memes, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.